Welcome to this talk where I'll tell you a little bit about extreme programming and atomic design. But first things first. Hello, my name is Rita. I'm a geek at heart, and I really like to play sports. I'm also a mom, which means that whenever I'm not with my family, that means that I'm probably working. I work at the Volkswagen Software Development Center here in Lisbon, and these are my amazing colleagues and teammates. So, about this talk, I will try to tell you a little bit on how to build the right product. And from where I stand, I think a good product should be user-driven. And it should be a digital product, bear in mind. And it should be done using consistent and quality UIs, because you want your users to be engaged with it. And how exactly can you build it right? Well, you should have tests for it. Tests are an important part of software development. And in fact, they're as important as how they're done. And to me, the best way of doing tests is to do test-driven development. So this means to write your tests up front before you start writing any sort of production code. On the other hand, and since this is React Summit, of course you want to go from designs to React. So you want to have an easy way to translate what you have from your designs to React. How can we achieve this? This is what I'm setting myself up to tell you and talk to you about. So, the Software Development Center in Lisbon. It was created in 2018. It was the first development center that Volkswagen opened outside of Germany, and they chose to do so in Lisbon. Why wouldn't they? And thank you for that. So I joined. I already knew, and I already did test-driven development, and used to work in an agile framework. Let's put it this way. But they pitched in something new, something different, which was XP and balanced teams. So XP stands for Extreme Programming, and it was created back in '96 by Kent Beck, and it is an agile way of developing software. It is mainly targeted for developers, but the rest of the development team, it also can take a lot of advantage from what XP stands for and what it encompasses at its core. And what does it encompass in its core? So it's driven by 5 core values. The value of communication. Keep the chat and the conversation going on within your team, because with this, you are able to share information. You are able to transfer knowledge from one person to the other, regardless of the role they have in your team. Simplicity. When you're building the product, build it the leanest way as you can. Why? So that you can get feedback from it really, really often. You don't want to be developing something that the users won't need, or that the users don't want, or that it's poorly developed and unusable. So get feedback as fast as you can. Have the guts or the courage to toss things away if they're not what the user needs or wants, regardless of how much you've invested in it. And most important, have respect amongst your team. Each and every decision you make for your product, it is a team decision. So it is not something that you do by yourself. Everyone's voice is heard. Everyone's voice is respected. Opinions are worth it, and you can voice them out loud. However, these values, they're a bit barren if you don't have any sort of practices that you can use them upon. So the two practices that I would like to stand out from XP are pair programming and test-driven development. For pair programming, it is important because you're able, again, to share the communication, to share the knowledge that you have amongst yourselves. So regardless of your role in the team, you're going to pair. So you're going to be working with someone that will share the information that you're building upon. Test-driven development, so that you do just what is needed to get your feature up and running. Where do we do this? Integrated in balanced teams. What are they then? They're composed of designers, product managers, and developers, us. What do designers bring to the table? Well, they are the bridge between the team and the users. They understand what are the pain points that the users have, and they come up with solutions to make their lives a lot easier. What the product managers do? Well, they take care of the money, and they break down the stories. They break down the features that we want to build for our product into stories that we, the developers, can do. And what do we do? Well, apart from coding, we're also the ones that are responsible for seeing and evaluating if something is feasible to be done. We are the gatekeepers of the technology, but we are also the ones responsible for evaluating the feasibility of the product. What happens when all of us work together? Magic happens. That's what. In the SDC, me. So I joined in 2017, as I told you, 2018, as I told you, and now it's 2021. What have I done in the middle? Apart from having the kid, I have worked in 4 different products. All of them had React as its front-end framework. Why did we choose so? Well, because, and quoting the documentation from React is supposed to make our lives a lot easy. It is supposed to make it painless to create interactive UIs. And you should be able to build encapsulated components so that you can make these UIs in a very easy and good way. However, we used to do feature-driven development, a loose adaptation of it at least, which means that for every feature that we wanted to develop within our code or within our product, we would have a folder for it, and then we would start nesting out things that are specific to that feature in it. And if we had components that would be reused and shared throughout a couple of features, we would extract them to the components feature. But then, as the product began to escalate, the features became a little bit too crowded, let's put it this way. So we had to find a different way of organizing our front-end code. Enter atomic design. What is it? It is a design methodology, and it goes into creating and maintaining anything from the design system. It was created by Brett Frost in 2013, and it's composed of 5 different levels of elements. Please bear in mind that this is a design framework, so we're going to do an adaptation from a design framework to React. So how is it structured? So there are atoms, which are the most basic elements of all. If you combine atoms together, you will get molecules. Cool. If you join molecules and other atoms, or eventually molecules and organisms as well, you'll get organisms. And when you set out, when you build a layout and you decide, okay, this goes here, that goes there, etc., you have a template. And when you pick the organisms and you put them on your templates, you get pages. So it's a linear flow to build your UI, and it's quite easy. So, having this in mind, I'm going to tell you the experience that we're currently doing in the SDC. We are trying to solve a problem, or what we perceive as a problem, from the dealers that sell cars. Though. So, imagine that you're a dealer. You sell a car. You sell a car to a customer today. You sell another car tomorrow to a different customer, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. So you sell a lot of cars because you're good at it. In average, dealers sell around 20 cars per month, and each of these cars, so each of this order, takes around 3 months to be fulfilled. So within this time span, the dealer needs to keep track of what's the status of the order. Is the car here? Is it about to get here? Is it delayed? Well, if you don't communicate with your customer, it is really, really likely that the customer will pick up the phone and call and say, "Hey, where's my car?" And that's a problem, because then the dealer has to be able to find the information about the order of that customer really, really fast, because you don't want them holding back. So how am I able to tell you all of this? Because we did a lot of user interviews with dealers so that we would understand the pain points and the needs that they have. With that, our designers formulated 3 assumptions. The first one being that the dealers want to know the status about their orders. The second, that they want to be updated about those status. And the third, that they want to be able to share that information with the customers.